President of this 46th Annual General Council, General Body Meeting of the OICOA Chennai Regional Unit, Mr. Mahendran. He is also the President of the Cell Committee of OICOA, my associate there in the Cell Committee also, having played a dual role in a very effective way during the past period. Respected Mr. Cyril sir, the veteran, the father, the founding, the bricks of the organization was laid by people like Mr. Cyril, Mr. Balasubramaniam over the years, and whatever be the platform of OICOA, we need to recall their contributions. And it is our pleasure that in the Chennai meeting we have his presence here. So that way we are happy about it. We are glad, and we convey our honors to them also through this meeting. The others on the dais, Mr. Tamil Segaran, the maiden report, isn't it? The regional secretary's report, the activity report. Good comments have come. Naturally, it is an enthusiasm for him, the motivation for him to take forward. Because as he was mentioning, the Chennai has been a good nucleus of the trade union movement in the general insurance industry particularly. So that way I am sure that looking forward in the days and years ahead, the young brigade of the Chennai regional unit, Mr. Segaran, the Anbu, all others will be taking responsibilities at the All India level of the organizations of the trade unions, the associations functioning in the industry here. The other veteran leaders, Mr. Sridhar, Mr. Gauri Shankar, and the members of the Chennai regional unit, who are the pillars of the organization here, for taking it forward, the movement of OICOA, the great movement. Of course, always our expectations are very high, isn't it? We want the entire 173 members. Okay, we can give cushioning for 5 to 10%, but otherwise we want all the hall should be full always. But still, we have good numbers here. My congratulations to you all for having made it to the occasion today at the 46th Annual General Council, Annual General Body Meeting of the Chennai Regional Unit being held here. I would like to call, with the permission of the President, let this be called a victory meeting, the victory gathering, having succeeded in our pay revision after a sustained struggle, a relentless struggle that we had launched over the past 2 years. I consciously say that it should be called as victory meeting because though there have been some murmurs here and there, he was also mentioning, yes, our target was the LIC pay, the parity with LIC pay, but what we have got may be little less. We need to go into that, the circumstances of it, how we could achieve this even when you all know till May or June, there were no silver lining of any progress in the wage revision. This industry has secured 8 wage revisions so far, right from 1982, 87, 92, 97. Almost every 5 years we have been getting it, and Mr. Cyril has been the architect, I can just call him also, has been in the forefront of such wage pay revisions almost in those years right from 1980s. And when we are looking back today, when we have secured this wage revision 2022, and this struggle has been so unprecedented. Yes, the industry didn't see such a struggle, such a sustained struggle, the demonstration, the Dharna program, more than the participated struggles of the people, the sort of lobbying that has taken place this time, including into the political corridors of the country. Yes, such an amount of the magnitude of the effort that was put in securing this wage revision, definitely we cannot denounce it, we cannot denigrate it. Having secured the revision after such a sustained struggle, definitely we have to keep our eyes high and we have to call it a grand success also. When I say it is a success, how we can also define? I said, can we call it nothing? Can we? No. We have secured till, as I was mentioning, till June, July, no silver lining. Initial offer, you all remember, it was 2%, 5%, 7%. It started, you remember. There were a lot of rather demotivating factors also coming up in the social media. On one side, hype was created. How? I remember last year, July 1st, when Mr. Atul Sagai took over as the chairman of GIPSA, hopes were very high because people thought that he is such a strong person that he will be able to get the wage revision clinched under his leadership. Then here, he made out a statement, not in the official media, not with the representative of the association, but through his Twitter he was mentioning that by August it will be done. Then it got shifted to the Diwali, October, November. Then it got shifted to December. Then in February, when he was retiring in 2022 February, he sent out a regret message saying that it cannot be done. We have seen that, is it not? On the other hand, duly contributed by the BVKS, the so-called the BMS, the trade union wing of the, including the ruling party trade union wing, they were flashing it out day in and day out messages saying that it is already been cleared, it has been done, everything, is it not? So in such midst, when we were on the agitation, when it was taken to such a long level, long period, it was also creating a sort of complacency. It was also creating a sort of rather the hopes of the people were diminishing over the period. That was the situation we were in. Then when August there was a meeting call, then offer was given, then people started thinking that yes, it will be done. Then we got the final offer, 4th August there was a meeting. And you all know, when 31st July was crossing, people said yes, this wage revision is lost. Because the 5-year period is over, this wage revision is lost. And in between again the social media rumors, how it went on, no arrears will be there, or 50% arrears, 25% arrears, all sorts of rumors were going on. But today when we meet here, all the people, I can just see happiness on them, having secured a good revision, secured good arrears. The retirees also got their arrears in full. So in such a situation, can we not call it? Can we not call it? And going into the legalities of it, how people were giving the rumors. On one side, they said you go and challenge it in the court of law. Is it not? There were people suggesting for going to the court. I would like to just put forth one simple question to them. Under which law you are going to challenge this provision demanding wage revision? What can be the premise of going to the court? When there is an infringement of a right, then you can go to the court. A violation of a provision of law, you can go to the court. Under which provision of law, under which statute, where you are ensured this wage revision as a fundamental right for us to approach the Supreme Court or a High Court. What is the role? Let them just come out with that. Unfortunately, so-called the veterans were also suggesting go to the court. Had we gone to the court, it would have been totally sealed off. Simply the barrackman would say that it is sub judice, nothing is possible. So that also did not happen. We have already crossed over, we have got the arrears. And what are the numbers? 10%, 12%, and how much our brethren in the financial sector, they got it. How much they got it? LIC, yes, they got 16%. We got 12%. Then people started working it out and they said, yes, we have not. Have they really understood how the other sector also got it in the financial stream, the banking sector? We too. Consider the scenario in which we got it also. What is our strengths and weaknesses? There are so many repeated calls by the associations. I don't want to give the numbers. I was just talking to people here. In the central city of Chennai, in Mount Road area, or in this spectrum of the Chennai city, what will be the number of people, number of working people in PSGICs, all four companies put together? Maybe 2,000, 2,500? Is it not? It will not be there. But at any point of time, what was the maximum number of people who participate in the demonstration before head office? It's just simple. You are all witness to that. Is it not? I don't want to put the numbers now from this stage. What was the number? You all know. You are witness to that. Because thanks to the social media, immediately the photos are flashed to you. When I say in the center of the city, the number of people, the PSGIC working people, all classes of people put together, it outnumbers 2,000. And what is the maximum number of people who are standing, crying, calling, shouting for the wage revision before the United Head Office? You make out the number, but whether it reflected our strength, whether it reflected our weakness or not. So in that context also, how much we have secured with all that weaknesses, which was again complemented by or compensated by the political lobbying to such a great extent that it was taken up that we could just secure this wage revision. What is the simple arithmetic in that? Let me also go into the some nitty-gritty of it. I am not going to the entirety. 10%, how it comes? Basic pay. It is 100 rupees basic pay. Earlier basic pay. The DA as on date you would have got 80 rupees. Whereas the DA up to 6352 points was merged into the basic pay. Is it not? 6352, how it comes? It was the DA points to which 1st August 2017. 1st August 2017 is linked to. On 1st of August 2017, your DA was paid at 6352 points linked to that. So, the DA, so for example, on 1st of August 2017, the DA for 6352 points was 50 rupees. Then 100 rupees is basic pay. The DA for 6352 points are merged with that. So taking 150, on that 10% was given as the basic increase. Is it not? So 10% of it, 150 is 115 rupees. So totally it is coming to 165 rupees. This is the basic nuance of it. Okay. But how much the banking sector got? Naturally there is a question arises. They got 15%. Then whether we should have adopted to that, whether we should have said okay to the banking sector wage revision, because the ministry probably, had we asked, they would have asked for 15% at par with the banking sector. I am not denigrating the movement in the banking sector, please understand. But with all the strength, with our strength, what was our strength? You are all well aware of the matters that has come up in the social media. Our strength as of 31st March 2022, it is 44,000 employees. Is it not? The PSGIC employees workforce, the numbers are 44,000 and all. From, it has come down, of course, that I will just talk about later. In banking sector, the total workforce numbers are 10 lakhs plus. How much they got? They got 15%. But have you analyzed anyone? Have you gone through that, how the wage revision passed? How it compares with the banking sector that we have secured? Could you just go through that? A simple example, let me just say, I can just see good number of youngsters here. The starting scale of a scale 1 officer in the general insurance industry, how much we got? Can anyone say? Starting scale of scale 1 officer in our industry, now we have got revised to pay. Huh? That was 32,795 was previous one. Now, revised one. Yeah, it is 50,900, let me tell you. It is 50,900 we got. As I was mentioning to you, this 50,900, the starting scale of a scale 1 officer is linked to the price index, consumer price index or DA index of 6352 as a prevailing at 1st of August 2017. I'm not going too much technical into all those things, but precise it to understand for you, this 6352 points DA related merger, the general insurance sector got a scale 1 officer starting scale is 50,900. What is the index that was linked in the banking wage revision? Incidentally this time, same points were the merger points in the banking sector too. Same 6352 points was the merger point in banking sector. What was the basic pay of the scale 1 officer in banking sector? Anyone know? Can anyone say? It is 36,000. 36,000 for the same points of merger, 6352 point merger. In the banking sector, the basic pay starts at 36,000 in comparison to the 50,900 that we have secured in the general insurance sector. A whopping almost 15,000 rupees more in the starting scale itself. Or Cyril would agree, will definitely, he has been telling many a time, the basic pay is always called the mother benefit. The focus in any wage revision would be on the increased basic pay so that all other benefits or attendant benefits consequent to the increase that we are securing in the basic pay. So a solid 15,000 in the starting basic pay itself reflects a better wage revision for us that we have secured. Even though banking sector got 15%, he got 10%. This 15,000 rupees makes a very big, a step forward compared to the banking sector. Not only that, in banking sector what happened? They said 16%, the special pay it will be given. What was the difference? I was telling you, 100 plus 50 DA, then 10% on that, it comes to 165. What happened in the banking sector? I am not I'm not undermining the association activity, the trade union movement in the banking sector, but for the sake of comparison, we need to understand how it goes on. So in banking sector, what happened? The 100 rupees basic pay, the 50 rupees DA, only 2% was given as an addition there in the basic pay. So it made up only 252 rupees there. The balance 13%, what happened there? 13 rupees or 15 rupees, whatever it may be, that was given as a special allowance, which is not ranking for any benefit, which is not ranking for any retirement benefit, not even the NPS. Youngsters cannot have any grievance over that because including the NPS is not counted upon based on the special allowance in the banking sector. What happens ultimately? What happens, say for example a retiree, you can just check the entire scales, how it goes on. I was just glancing it. There are different stages. The basic pay always goes with the stages. The scale 1 officer in general insurance sector, the maximum scale goes up to 96,000, whereas in the banking sector, the scale 4 officer, the maximum scale is 89,000. 89,890. What happened practically? I was talking to one of my friends in the banking sector. He was mentioning that he has made a lot of calculations on that, saying that at the time of retirement, he was just retiring, he was telling that he was getting the retirement benefit far less than a scale 2 officer in the comparative general insurance sector. This is not an exaggeration, these are all reflected by the fact. So this way, it has been a far ahead, this has been sustained, this has been secured after a sustained struggle on number 1. Number 2, in terms of the benefit also, though our expectation was there, though our target was there, what we have secured cannot be undermined or undervalued also. Similarly, you can also compare on so many other grounds. One another point just I would like to make a mention. It is on the rate of DA slab. How much we have secured? What is the new DA rate? Rate of per slab, what is the rate? 0.08. We have secured 0.08. What has been secured in the banking sector? What has been given in the banking sector is 0.07. So what makes difference? 0.01. What makes difference? Yeah. Have you calculated? I'll just give an example. Same starting scale of a scale 1 officer, 50,900. At 50,900, this 0.01 per month, what makes it difference is you will be getting 2,500 rupees more in terms of DA as compared to your counterpart in the bank sector. Every month, your DA is more by 2,500 rupees in comparison to your counterpart in the bank sector. Is it not? So these are the very significant that we have achieved in the wage revision, and this momentum, that way the struggle was so great, the struggle was so unprecedented, and the wage revision, though all of us will call the 2012 wage revision to be one of the best wage revision that we have secured, still in the current scenario with the government at the center, I'm not going into the financial aspect of it, we'll just talk about it later. With the adamancy of the central government at the center, we have secured this match through political lobbying, through relentless struggle, through gamut of so many other ways and means. We have just secured it despite our own weakness. As I was mentioning, what was our weakness? I don't want to put it across. So, despite all these weaknesses, when we have secured it, can we denounce it? Can we say that it is nothing? This is the significant achievement that we have achieved, and we want the people to understand this. We want to celebrate it. What for? It is the result of a relentless struggle, and that struggle should be the founding stone, founding platform for us to launch the further movement now. Unless we understand, unless we appreciate our own effort, because I am seeing here and may not be many. Particularly, I don't want to categorize, but at the same time, I am very unhappy that some of the youngsters are not understanding the such realities of it. Some WhatsApp messages, some social media messages are being floated, undermining all these things. No. Please understand, have you gone through this? Have you understood what has come to you really? How, in what situation? True. 19.5 crores was the investment made by the government in 1971. The companies, today the net worth of these companies to 2 lakh crore plus. Yes, up to 2018, year after year, dividends have been given. Why not? Even in 2012 to 17 period, for which the wage revision is there. Every year, year after year, the dividends have been given. For wage revision, of course, we are clubbed together with GIC also, GIC Re. Put together, I remember, 2016-17 alone, 1 year, the 4 companies have paid a dividend of 662 crores to the government, on which, on an investment of just 19.5 crores, isn't it? Who are the stakeholders? How it has come? It is the workforce, largely the big stakeholders in the industry or the workforce of these organizations. It is their contribution with that this growth could be achieved. So in such a situation, today when we are just looking it back, 2008, post-2018, there have been big challenges. The COVID, the MISP, we need to discuss, we need to talk about that. MISP is creating a dent in the motor premium of our organizations. Whether so-called the level playing field is there, what the regulators' role, how they are functioning it. I was just talking to Mr. Shaktivel, I was talking to some other gentleman also last week. School bus, 95% discount is given. With that, the premium is coming to 4,95,000 for 10 school buses. The private company, they are giving 3,60,000. How? 1,30,000 is a cashback for them immediately. How it happens? Whether there is a level playing field? What is the role of a regulator today? In such a scenario, these companies have sustained. I am just seeing the current November update also. All the 3 companies, Oriental, United India and National, they have posted double-digit growth. In what scenario? That is what? Today, in such a scenario, we have grown also. Over the period, it has also come. But post-2018, these new challenges have come. The country faced degrowth of 23%. We are more connected to the economy, the economic activity of the country. There were lockdowns. On one side, the premiums were coming down because of the challenges, because of the lockdowns, because of the COVID scenario. On the other side, the COVID claims, on an average, more than 60% of the COVID claims were lodged and settled by the public sector organizations. This statistic speaks for that. So, along with all these things, there were natural disasters. There were norms changed for the liability provisioning from 2008-16 onwards. So, in this scenario, the financial results, the balance sheets have not been giving out a good picture. It is not giving out good picture. Yes, we do know. But whether the steps taken by the company, the management, the government, I don't call the government as a owner. They are custodians of the public sector. They are custodians. They cannot sell like anything, is it not? So, there were some infusion of capital. But that was also sought as a reason. What was happening in the bank sector? Again and again. Why I refer to bank sector? It is also a financial institution, forming part of it. Every year, if you just see the budget, 30,000 crores, 40,000 crores was the infusion of capital in the bank sector. From the budgetary support was given to them, whereas all through, even for the natural disasters, Hudhud claim was there, Kerala floods were there, the Uttarakhand floods were there. All these claims of natural disasters were settled by these public sector organizations, public sector insurance companies, and not even a single amount was released to us from the so-called natural disaster fund or any other fund to sustain, for us to sustain in this scenario. Along with this, the unethical, the practices, as I was mentioning about the school bus, that was going on as an undercurrent for the private sector, that was being, the private sector is being helped. In one of the structured meetings, when Mr. Sujay Banerjee was the director holding the charge of CMD, we had a meeting with him. We point blank asked what the regulator is doing, what the public sector is doing about it. There has been a daylight robberies happening on these by these private companies. They have been taking it out. Today morning I was just discussing in constructive way. Yes, he was telling, 19,000 they are showing in the receipt, but they are collecting only 14,000 rupees. That agent is getting 3,000 rupees cash back. How the accounting is happening, whether the regulator is not having any accessibility to the records. That time Mr. Sujay Banerjee was telling, yes, we have been taking it up. They are asking for proof. Whether the regulator is not having the teeth to go and check the records of the private companies. Can they not know? When I was just hearing from him, whether even there could be some tax evasion on that, because 19,000 rupees, they are giving a receipt, but they are taking 14,000 rupees means how they are making it out. So I don't know whether from the organizational front, whether these issues also need to be taken up apart from our own gamut of issues, the NPS. Yes, NPS is a very important issue. Today in such a scenario, when particularly in the past 3 to 4 years time, when 2017 wage revision was due, the relentless struggle was there, and in such a scenario there have been some issues in the balance sheets also. We have to discuss, we can discuss so many things about the balance sheet. I was just going through the balance sheets of all the 4 companies. Last year, there was a huge amount of shares or the assets being transferred to the insolvency account. I was just going through that. What were the investments? The investments made by these companies in Reliance Home, investments made by these companies in Island FS, investments made by these companies in one other Diwan Housing Finance. What was the amount? It was running to 1,800 crores all put together. Who is responsible for it? In a meeting with Mr. Girish Radhakrishnan, the earlier GIPSA chairman, I just asked him, sir, okay, but who is responsible for this? You are denying wage revision to us. Whereas this dent in the balance sheet, how it has happened to us? More than 1,600, 1,800 crores was transferred as a bad debt from the investments of our balance sheets. So these are today's challenges when we are just meeting here. In that scenario, we have secured a wage revision. A substantial revision may not be at par with our expectations, but in the given scenario, definitely it was a good revision. Again and again, I just reiterate it because we need to keep our high head, especially those who have participated in the struggles of the association. When they are receiving their arrears, they can hold their head high and say that, especially to those who are not participated in that, they have to feel shame that they have not, their contribution has not been there in the success of achieving this wage revision. Especially because that momentum that we have been creating, in the midst of so much of complacency, in the midst of so much of negativism, when 31st July was crossing, they said, yes, it is lost totally. Almost the hopes were lost. Previously, it was a fond hope. What? Once LIC is given, automatically it will come. That was the hope. Then, when it did not come, then people got other complacency. So this scenario, in the midst of it, our own weakness, as I was mentioning earlier, with all that was compensated with such an amount of the political lobbying also, the meeting with the ministry, the joint forum, incidentally, definitely it is a matter of very great satisfaction that all the unions came together. There were some differences, here and there were some differences, but all that, the unions were together, the associations were together, and we could just put a very strong opposition, strong momentum to the management, and we could just secure it. Even at the last moment, you all remember, the file went to Madam Nirmala Sitharaman. She returned the file. Then again it has to be presented, and at the last line has also come now. What is it? That next wage revision due from August 2022 will be on the basis of the performance, the variable pay on the basis of performance of the company and employees. How far that legally valid, that is another question. Because August 2022 we have already crossed, all of you are drawing the salary as per 2022 amendment scheme. No scheme has been changed. You are not subjected to variable pay. But that is an indication to you that the threat is there. You need to understand. Apart from that, of course, wage revision, so many other aspects also we need to talk about it. But suffice it to say that the struggles have resulted in such a good revision. We cannot denounce it, especially those who have participated should hold their head high, saying that yes, my contribution has been there, was there in securing this success for the organization, for the employees. Towards the next process now, as I was mentioning, this success, the meet has to be taken as a launching pad for launching our struggles going forward. The privatization, there is a mention in the report. What is it? I was mentioning 1972, the nationalization took place. 106, 107 companies, the private sector, who were operating in the private sector, were taken over by the government. The 19.5 crores was the investment made by the government then. 1991, Malhotra Committee report, the recommendations came. Then there was a huge amount of struggles that were going on, witnessed in the public sector insurance company. Mr. Cyril and all that, they have been heading, they have been taking the initiative, they have been at the forefront of the struggles those times against the Malhotra Committee report, when there were even skeletal, the infrastructure was not there for the association. I still remember, today we are holding a meeting in such a cozy hall, good. We are having a good, lunch also following that. We are having an annual meeting, there is a gathering. But I think you will rather vouch that in 1980s and all that, the AGM of a unit will be held in a small office with 5 people or 10 people participating in the evening. That will be the AGM of an association of OICOA. From that level today, when we are here, yes, it is the bricks that they have laid that organization today is sustaining. We are today enjoying the benefits of the struggles and sacrifices of forefathers. They have been traveling in second class from here in scorching heat. They were traveling. That way the organization was built. It is not a history. We need to understand this also. It is not a history. It is not a story also. So that way in 1971, 1991, the Malhotra Committee recommendations came. Then struggles, continuous struggles. 2000, the industry was opened up. At the time they said, we are not privatizing the public sector organizations. We are only opening it up to the private participation. This was in 2000. So 1971, 1991, 2000. Then what happened? 2015, what happened? The amendment to the JIPNA Act, the General Insurance Business Nationalization Act, took place, saying that at any point of time, this clause 10(1)(b), there is a proviso also given, at any point of time they went for disinvestment, they proposed for disinvestment of the public sector general insurance company shares. What it means? It is the privatization move. Then they said they gave a proviso to that, saying that at any point of time, the holding of the government will not go below 51%. What it means? The character of state will be maintained, the character of public sector will be retained. This was the proviso given in 2015 when the amendment bill was made. But what happened in 2022, you all know. You went for one day strike, all of you participated in that. Hopefully, I hope that. But what happened? This clause was totally removed, this proviso was totally removed, making it open for the government to go for even 100% disinvestment, rather total privatization of these public sector institutions. Day in and day out, what was coming up? Yesterday it will be name of Oriental, today it will be name of United India. This is going to be privatized, that is going to be privatized. I am not telling a story, please. This is what we have witnessed today for the past 1 year. Why? Why I am mentioning it here is, all these things have been creating a chaos in the market. All these things have been putting the people under threat, putting the people under complacency. So this was also part of the challenges that we have been undergoing on that. Even clientele, I remember, the merger was proposed in 2018 budget. Then we were all happy. As an association, we welcomed that. It took almost 2 years. They were dragging it. What happened in between? I think one of the mail was shared by him. The client is writing, the company secretary of a client is writing to Oriental, who is having a good chunk of business placed with us, saying that the private companies are approaching us, stating the merger proposal, because of the merger proposal, there is going to be a chaos in the services of these companies, the Oriental, National and United India. So shift your business to private company. This is the campaign, or this is the campaign that was launched by the private companies, and one of the company secretary of corporate, they were writing to the company asking for whether your services are going to be affected in this. At least that she or he was bold enough to write to us, whereas how many people have got shifted in the process because of the creation of a confusion that was created in the minds of the corporate by the private sector lobby during that process. And in between, our own people, our own workforce was also created, whether we will be going to shifting to New India, whether we will be going, what name it will come, in South, whether it will go. These are all the mindset that was created when the merger was, despite its goodness in the long run. It has created a complacency, it has created confusion in the minds of the working people. Of course, again, they will do it in 2020 without any reason. Today, that demand is again being raised. So, I mentioned very specifically these things. Post 2018, MISP, the COVID-related claim, the confusion, complacency created by the merger decision of the government, who claimed to be the owners, as I was mentioning, custodian. There was no proper direction from the ministry, and today they are coming out with another set of new norms, new jargon. What is it? KPI? I think Mr. Silizar would agree. This structural reforms. In early 1998, I remember, sir, the Ferguson was the first report from 4-tier structure to 3-tier structure. When it was proposed in 1998, before the opening up of the industry for the private participation in 2000, that was the first report given in the industry for the structural change from 4-tier to 3-tier structure. It did not take place. Today they are giving out new norms. Yes, very rightly pointed out by him also, we are not shy of any change. If it is in the real interest of the industry's welfare, industry's progress. Today, why this industry is like this today, we have to discuss at length on this also. Whether an external agency is required for us to teach, whether we have to do profitable growth, whether the jargon has not been there in our company earlier. This has been the jargon all through. Then where we fail? Today, any of you sitting here, are you making the loss-making business consciously in a big way? The GMC approval or the big Fasal Bima Yojana, the government says or the ministry says, we have not compelled you to do the government-sponsored business. But in so many other ways it is being done. The PMSBY, what is the premium, what is the loss, how it is being compensated. Today, this has been the history today, and in the past 3 to 4 years, Definitely there have been a big challenge for the public sector organization right from MISP. Why I make again and again MISP? Of course, in past all through the motor segment was the prominent segment. Today it has been taken over by the health, true. But still the motor segment has a very significant role, and all the new business today is being taken away by the private sector, that too through dubious methods, through unethical ways. A real set of competition is not being made in the market. When we were taking it up with Mr. Sujay Bharati, he was asking for the proof. But when he went to IRDA as non-member, he made some penalty imposed on the private companies. How much? 1 crore or 3 crore. They happily they paid the penalty, and they were just continuing to do that. This is what is happening today. So today the challenges are about KPI also. Of course, he has already briefed you how the KPI. So many ifs and buts are there. It is not clear whether it has been tried anywhere. Corporate agent, corporate business unit, now the OO, the name nomenclature change. Whether the clarity is there, I was just talking to Mr. Arup Prakash. He has been now shifted to establishment department. How the work is going on. Night 8 o'clock, some person occupying the flat will be calling him. I want this, there is a repair in the geyser, or there is a problem. So he has to attend to that. Whether that will reflect in your system for his evaluation, whether it will reflect. There is a system for that. Whether if it is a manufacturing industry, you can make it out 3x4 or 5x6. This is the block that is coming out. How many blocks have come out? So there is a way to performance evaluation available in the manufacturing sector. In the services sector, like our gel issues industry, say 10 proposals are sent, or 10 proposals are being worked out. 2 proposals are already getting converted into premium. What about the work or the time spent by the workforce on the 8 other proposals? Whether there is going to be a system evaluation. The E&Y says, that day I was also seeing the webcast, they were telling that there will be first the system-based evaluation, then there will be system-based and manual evaluation, and there will be exclusive manual evaluation. Whether the system has been placed here. And they say, already the current promotion, 2023 promotion will be based on this. How? So, these are very, rather the ministry is trying to make a micromanagement of the system. That is what is happening today. The management has not been able to stand up to the threats or the dictates of the ministry today. That is what is practically happening. With that, the industry sustenance. Yes, the industry will sustain. Definitely the OICOA, the Confed, the Joint Forum will do that. But in the meantime, we need to understand. Today's context, we need to understand what they are stipulating as KPI. The BDM's role we are already having what is BDM agency? We are already having a nomenclature as agency manager. Is it not? And corporate business unit, then when corporate business unit, what is going to be threshold limit? Whether it is going to be 1 crore, whether it is going to be 3 crore, whether it is going to be 5 crore, there is no clarity on that. And a corporate agency, an agent may be bringing in a corporate business. Along with that, he may be having a retail business also. Whether that agent will be attached to the corporate business unit or a retail unit. So, total chaos the industry is being undergoing now. And unfortunately, the people who are sitting at the helm of affairs, they are trying to justify what is happening today instead of feeling responsible over the situation. So in this scenario, of course, we need to deliberate upon that. The industry, they change the paradigm shift that is the industry they are proposing it today, whether it is being taken in the right path, and why there is an hesitation to even discuss openly with the stakeholders, the biggest stakeholders, the associations here. The ignoring the central committee level, enrolling central discussion, they are trying to have a discussion at the regional level, trying to what they say, they are trying to create a sort of fear psychosis in the minds of the people. Practically, we are hearing so many whom the company has to depend upon, that too after giving a good wage revision. Yes, after giving a good wage revision, the industry should get the benefit of the workforce, the positive mood of the workforce for better turnout, whereas unfortunately they are creating more of confusion, more of chaos in the uncertainty in the minds of the workforce today. Many people are calling us saying that, sir, we would like to give VRs. Already our workforce has dwindled. What is it? Already you have seen the WhatsApp message also. 2018, 31st March, it was 61,000 and all. Today, 31st March 2022, it is 44,950. In the past 4-5 years' time, the retirement, the OICOA has been to the tune of more than 15,000 people have gone out. There has been a shift of work from the work table to the system through WhatsApp or through mobile app, through portal. There has been a shift of work, no doubt about it. But still, the practical working today from the work table, whether it is being taken care of, whether totally it is being taken care of, despite the exit of more than 15,000, 16,000 people out of the industry for the past 4 years. The business, yes, as I was mentioning today, the 3 companies have already registered double-digit growth. Oriental, I could just see, I think 13% growth they have already registered. Chennai region, 9% growth up to November. There has been growth of business. We are happy about it. But whether the quality growth is not there, whether past 3 years, 4 years, when we are just seeing that, whether the management has not pulled up its socks properly. There have been repeated messages from the ministry also regarding GMC. Today they have totally tightened up. When today it could be possible, why it was not possible 2 years back? I was just seeing one of the balance sheets of one of the regions. 20 crores is the cattle premium, 40 crores is the outgo. They say there is no need for any air tax also. That was also dispensed with. That DGM has given some notice. See, we need to serve the social sector, but whether we have to give space for any fraudulent activity to happen here. So, to that extent, to the minutest extent, we need to as an association, we need to check. Otherwise, the industry's position, definitely it will be a difficult thing. At one point of time, the CVC, the Channel Vigilance Commissioner said that trade unions in the public sector are chief watchdogs of the organization. So that way, the associations have to play a big role. The OICOA has to play a big role. The joint forum, the confederation, these put together, we need to check. Today the challenges, as was mentioned, the new jargons are coming up. The pay, as I was mentioning, whether that line that is appearing in the wage revision notification can make a big difference, whether we have to challenge. If you go through the notification, at the end of it, they will just make a mention. If anybody is adversely affected against the provision, they can just raise an objection to that. So, instead of challenging the entire notification, legally whether we have to challenge that particular provision. So, these are for that naturally the legal fund would be required. We may have to think for any litigation before a court of law also. So that way I am sure the Chennai regional unit of the OICOA, the members would have already responded well for the call given by the association for contribution to the association. So these are the today's challenges, and that way when we call it as a success platform, the platform of success, having taken a good pay revision today, as this meeting today, this will have to be taken forward for launching of the further struggle, and particularly the consolidation of the workforce. A good number of youngsters, whether they really understand these challenges, especially they were having down the line 20 years, 30 years, NPS, their most important benefit. Already the associations have been demanding 10% contribution to 14% should be increased. It has already been, recommendations have already gone. But our basic demand remains as at par with the 1995 pension scheme for all. That is our basic demand. What is it? Many a times, as was mentioned, many a times I have already told, the contribution in both the schemes, contribution is firm, definite. Whereas when we come to the benefit, 1995 scheme, it is a defined benefit. In NPS, it is not a defined benefit. Today, state governments, it has become a political demand today. You know, Rajasthan government has already changed it. They have gone back to the old pension scheme. Delhi government, it has become a part of the political agenda today, and the central government is taking a position saying that we will not be able to return the money. There is no provision in that. Very funny in that. Of course. So along with this, the entire gamut of today, probably in the 2024 election, this may become a big issue. This may become an important agenda, political agenda. We may be aligning ourselves with the different political parties. But today, what is happening today, we need to understand the political dimensions of the current dispensation also. We need to understand today their target is the public sector, totally crushing the public sector has been the agenda today. So in that perspective also, we need to understand, because ultimately it is affecting you. When I talk about the NPS, down the line, the struggle for 1995 pension scheme, the old pension scheme for all, has to be a big struggle, like our earlier, the 1995 pension scheme struggled from 1990 to 95, 5 years under the joint forum. The entire financial sector, the banking sector and the insurance sector put together, Comfort was part of it. And this struggle was carried out based on which that 28th June 1995 notification was the fruit today. Today we can just see the happiness of the people on their faces when they retire, when they get the retirement benefits today. So that way for the rest of the people, this will be a big agenda. So these are the challenges which you have to take this platform as a launching pad for the next struggle, for which again the reorientation is essential very much. The youngsters should not get diverted. Today the sort of the BDE or BDM, whatever name they are trying to give it, let there be a clear understanding of it. Let there be a proper discussion on that. We are not averse to change, but there is a need for creating confidence in the minds of the people. I was just glancing the composition of 44,000 employees. How many people have got recruited post 2010? The young blood who may be having another 20 years down the line. It's alarming. The industry's average age. Today, probably the 1990s, the batch who have joined has lost. After that, CBSE batch, they will all be going out of the organization. So with that, the youngsters will be there. For them, the industry towards which many people have come from even private sector. I remember one from Google, one from Microsoft. They left those companies and they joined with the expectation of a social security, the job security. Of course, today the pay package is also substantial. So for them, these companies, sustaining these companies as public sector institutions and retaining our status also, naturally more struggles may be in the offing, for which I am sure the Chennai regional unit under the leadership of Mr. Mahendran and all others seeing a very good team here, and with these people I am sure the Chennai also lead the agitations here, take forward these challenges and take the organizations forward. With these words I come to my reference. Thank you.
Thank you, Nandakumar sir.
Your energy and innovation serve as inspiration for youngsters like us who are taking baby steps in the organization as well as association. Thank you, sir.
I think I have taken longer time, sorry.
We have been joined by our All India General Secretary.